welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to make a fun little project using our Sewcialites 3 blocks that we have already been making. So from the beginning, my intent has always been to make the full quilt, and I'll pop that up on the screen, using the wild honey blocks that I previously made for the Fat Quarter Shop. So all these blocks will turn into a quilt. But while we have been sewing on camera, we have been using the Sunday brunch fabric, and we have made a bunch of super cute little blocks so far, and we have enough to start one of our little side projects. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some of these blocks that we've already made with the Sunday brunch, and we're going to turn them into pincushions. They are super fun, super tiny, and adorable, and they're really easy to make, so you're going to have tons of fun. So what I'm going to show you on these is how to take the blocks that we've already made, turn them into a pincushion, but I also want to remind you that Fat Quarter Shop hosted the Sew Along 1 and 2 for Sewcialites previously. So all of those blocks have already been designed in the 3-inch size. So if you wanted to make some new blocks practicing the 3-inch, or if you don't want to use up the blocks that we've already made together, you can certainly check out the Sew Along 1 and 2 and get some fun ideas from those block patterns. So actually, this one that I already made is from one of the Sew Alongs, 1 or 2, I don't remember. It was a Lori Holt pattern. So I used some of Lori Holt's red fabric, and I made this super cute little pincushion with that one. So there's tons of ideas and tons of fun options. Here on camera today, we're going to turn this friendship star block into a little pincushion together. So if you remember in one of the previous videos, I made a mistake and I accidentally made a 1-inch square in a square. And so we're going to take that 1-inch square in a square, and we're going to add it to some little half square triangles, turn it into a little friendship star, and we're going to make a little pincushion. That way y'all kind of see the technique that I use to make them, and then you can pull whatever block you want to make more. You can make 1 or 10 and share them with your friends. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so there's a couple of things that you're going to need for your pincushions. I used a variation of different things. On this one, I used some Polypellets. I used to make a lot of weighted blankets way back when, many years ago, when I first started sewing just for fun. I would make weighted blankets. Well, I would make little weighted pads for the kids in the elementary school down the street from me to put on their legs. It was kind of where they could put them on their chest. It was to help some of the sensory disorders and those sort of things. So I used to make a lot of those and donate them to the school. And so I had some extra poly pellets left over. So I used a few of those in the bottom just to kind of weight them down, and then I put Polyfil over the top of them. You can use any kind of Polyfil that you have, or you can fill up the whole thing with just crushed walnuts. So you can kind of do a variety of things if you want them to be really heavy. So I was in a pincushion swap many years ago, and a woman made me this pincushion, and it's huge, but I do use it a lot. I do have a ton of just a variety of different pins in there, but this one is filled with just the crushed walnuts. You can feel it. It's really heavy, and it feels, these are much lighter because I have just a few of these pellets and then the Polyfil on the top of them. So it just kind of depends on preference what you want. If you want one that's going to be really heavy and just full all the way, then you might want to grab a couple of these depending on how many you're going to make. There'll be enough in here to make one for sure. So just kind of decide how you want it to be. Those are just some options of supplies. So one of the other things to keep in mind when you're making a pincushion is if you want to quilt it or if you don't want to quilt it. I didn't quilt any of these. So I just made a quilt block, sewed it to the back side, stuffed it with some Polyfil and some pellets, and that was that. This one I made some sides on it so it is kind of boxed off, but still I didn't quilt it. I didn't quilt any of these 3. The pincushion swap looks like this one is quilted, the top part of it is. So you can choose that either way. I'm going to go ahead and quilt the one that we're going to make on camera here. And so I just cut some Hobbs 80/20 batting. I just cut it so that it will fit our little 3.5-inch blocks. Okay, so if you remember, I made a mistake and I accidentally made a 1-inch square in a square piece on one of the Sewcialites 3 blocks that we made. And so I kept it and I'm going to use it right now. And so we're going to make this friendship star, and we're going to use this in the center. We're going to cut two 2-inch squares, which are going to be your colored part of the star. And then you want 2 backgrounds to go with that. And then you're going to want 4 background pieces that are cut 1.5. And so that's going to give you your 4 corners. And so that's all you're going to need for this little pincushion that we're making. So let's go ahead and get those started. We'll pull out the machine and we'll get sewing, and I'll rearrange the camera. Okay, so the first part is we're going to take our 2-inch pieces. We have a background 2-inch piece and a colored 2-inch piece. We have a line on it from corner to corner, and then we're going to sew 1/4 inch on either side of the line. Okay, we're going to do that 2 times. So now make another one. So we trim them right on the line, and then we are going to finger press them over to the colored side. And then we're going to go to the iron and iron them. And then we're going to trim them down to 1.5. So now we're going to take our little blocks. We are going to line up the line on the ruler with the line of your seam. And we're going to trim the right side and the top. And then you're going to spin it and then line it up with 1.5. So your 1.5 is right there and your line is still on your seam. And then you want to make sure it's even with both corners, and then trim those off. So we're going to want to do that 4 times. Okay, so now we have our 4 points, and we are going to turn them like that, like that, like that, and like that. So it makes a little star, and then we're going to put our little orphan block in the center, and then we're going to put our 4 little pieces on the end, and then we're going to sew all those together to make a friendship star so that it'll look just like this little pincushion. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to take the top 2 pieces, then we're going to take the middle one and the left one, and then we're going to take this bottom one and the bottom left one. Now we have all these together, so let's go ahead and press them. We're going to press this outside one, or the top one, out to the outside. We're going to press this one to the middle, and this one on the bottom to the outside. Okay, so now we're ready to sew this top right hand corner one. And then we're just going to stop and pick this piece up, lift up the presser foot. Same thing with this bottom one. Press this one out, this one in, and this one out. So now we are going to just nest our seams. I didn't pin, but it looks pretty okay. So I'm going to just gamble again and see. I'm not going to pin it again. Oh, that one looks pretty good too. Okay, so we're going to go press them, and I'm just going to press them off to the sides. Okay, so now we have this little guy made. Now let's pull a piece of fabric for the back. Okay, I'm going to pick this yellow one, and we are just going to rough cut it so that it's about the same size as our block. Oops, I sort of missed altogether. Okay, so now our backing is about the same size. Now we are going to take our batting, and we're just going to put it behind there, and then we're going to go ahead and stitch. Do some real light quilting from corner to corner. I'm just using Polyfil 50 weight thread, and I'm going to change my stitch length to about a 3 1/4 or so. Now we have this piece quilted, and then we're going to put them good side to good side. What I usually do to remind myself is I'm just going to put a pin in right here, And then I'm going to put another pin just about 1.5 inches or so away. And then I have these 2 pins sticking out, so I'm going to start sewing here, go all the way around, and I'm going to stop sewing at the pin so that I leave this spot right here open. That's what we're going to use to stuff it with, and then we'll just hand stitch that closed. So I am going to put my stitch length back to a 2 or 1.9, and then when I start, I'm going to back stitch because you're going to be tugging on that hole, and you want to make sure that it's good and stable on both sides. So when you get to the needle, when you start, back stitch, and then when you get to the other needle, make sure you back stitch again. All right, we took our needles out, we back stitched. Now we have this tiny little opening here. So now it's just I'm just gonna put my thumb inside the hole and then grab it with my other fingers until I get one of the points, and then just push that point through the hole. And then once you have that to grab onto, you can just keep pushing it through the hole, and then you will end up with a cute little square. So you can take your scissors and poke it in there so you can get your corners poked in good, or you can just use your finger, or if you have one of the little poking tools that comes with your Polyfil, or sometimes if I'm in an emergency, I'll use my seam ripper. All right, so what I usually do is go over to the iron and I press my little hole that I made. Press it so that you get yourself a nice seam. So go ahead and press that now. So that way when you go do your sewing, your hand sewing to close it up, it will be easier for you to kind of line up once you've done a little pressing. All right, so now we're gonna use our little funnel. I have one of these little rubber funnels. Okay, so I have a little Christmas tin that I keep around for jobs such as this. If you use a little container underneath it, you can catch all of the pieces that fall and put them back in your little container. So we're gonna go ahead and just keep wiggling your pin cushion around a little bit until all of your crushed walnuts fall in there. And now if you feel, you can kind of try to push it down to the corners. I like mine nice and fat, but it is a little bit of a challenge not to make a mess. And the technique is gonna work exactly the same if you use the little Polypellets. They're just a little bit bigger and they fall out a little bit, but so does the crushed walnuts. So you sort of pick your poison. All right, we're gonna try to do just a little bit more. That might be too much. Might also be a good idea to bring your vacuum in while you're doing these sort of things. We spilled a little bit, we made a mess, that's okay. I knew I was going to. So usually I just take my finger and I kind of just pack it down there a little bit so that I sort of get some of them away from the hole. And then you can also, at this point, put some of the Polyfil in there to kind of poke some in there to fill up your hole. Maybe not quite as big a box as I have, but this is what I use. A little bit of maneuvering. You just kind of have to push it sort of in between. Just use little tiny bits at a time and then just poke it in there with your finger. Kind of just poke it down into the walnuts. And it'll make it nice and fat. It'll also kind of give you a little barrier to keep those little walnuts from falling out. So just a little bit of Polyfil is all we really need. Now we are ready to sew the hole closed. So I use these big Sashiko needles. I just think it's a little bit easier on my eyes. So I'm going to take this Polyfil thread that sort of matches, and I don't have a ton of up close light here, but I'm going to try and see if I can do it. Oh, I got on the first try, y'all. Awesome. I was also going to mention that I have the Kimberly's Stitch and Light. It goes around your neck. It comes in a couple of cute little colors, and it is great if you want to sit on the couch and do any kind of stitching. So I usually do those if I'm not on camera. I'm gonna go ahead and double the thread and just make a knot. What I do is I just take it and I roll it around my finger, and then I spin it off my finger. Then I use my middle finger to pull to make a little knot. All right, so now we're gonna move our mess over there. And when I do this, I start off by putting my needle up through so that my knot is down inside my pin cushion. And then I go back through to make a little knot. So there's really no right or wrong. You can use a couple of different kinds of stitches. Honestly, on a pin cushion that you're never gonna see or really care, I just grab the two pieces and just do it that way. And then sometimes every couple of stitches, I'll put my needle back through it to make a little knot. All right, so like I said, just do little tiny stitches. And then when you get it to start closing up a little bit, you can pour a little bit more of your crushed walnuts in there to kind of fill up your hole a little bit, or you can put just a little tiny bit more of your stuffing. I am much better at this when I'm not on camera. So my stitch line on the rest of them, can't even really see it in that one. Same thing with that one. This one is much more obvious, so I think I must pay better attention. I also don't usually stand and do it, so there's a lot of variables. But nonetheless, that is what we do to make a cute little pincushion. We get towards the end, we're gonna put the needle back through it a couple of times, make a little knot. And then when we get to the end, so you can kind of squish it around a little bit. And then when I'm finished, I usually just take my needle and, because I've already knotted this last one, I'll go ahead and just do a little knot. So I just put the needle back through the hole and pull it and make a little knot. And then I just take it and I push the needle through, have it come out anywhere. And then when you pull that needle, it'll pull that knot you just made through. You won't see it. And then you can just trim that little guy off. So now you have a super sweet little pincushion. And so on these on this one I did not, on this one I did put buttons in the center of them, and you can do that or you can not do that, it doesn't really matter. If you are going to do a button, you would just go ahead and put it into the center like that, and then you'll want another one for the bottom. And then it'll just kind of squeeze the two pieces. And you can hot glue them if you don't want to mess around with the needle and thread, because it is a little bit tedious to get the needle and thread to go all the way through it back and forth. I keep my thread pretty long when I'm gonna do this part. So now what I do is I just push my needle up through there so that my knot's right there, and I put my button on it. And then I spin it and push my needle through. What I try to do is to get my needle in the center. A good idea is to flip it over, find your center point, or you can mark it even before you make it. And then you can put your other button down there. Because it's really easy to think you're in the center, but not. So see, now my needle came right through one of the holes, and then you can just put it right through one of the other holes. And at first it's real easy because the buttons aren't super tight, but once you've pulled it a few times and the buttons get tighter, it's a little bit harder to maneuver. And like I said, you can certainly add a little bit of hot glue at this point. Once you get it in there a couple of times, you can just hot glue it if you're just doing it for the cutesy of it. So look at that! Very cute. And all right, we're gonna do one more. And then what I do at the end is I just take it and push it through anywhere, pull it, and then you can kind of do the same thing that you did before. Make yourself a little knot, and you can push it up underneath that button, and then you can just push your needle through and just have it come out anywhere. And then trim off your thread. And you have a super sweet little pincushion. And this one's really firm and nice, so we can take out some pins and try it out. Oh yeah. Very cute. I can't get it. Okay, so make sure you make lots of pincushions and tag me on social media so I can see how cute they are. I can't wait to see what you make. Yay, thanks so much for joining me to make pincushions.